to another Terptree TV, and this week I'm coming to you straight from the beautiful island of Madeira, where we've just been lucky enough to go on a magic dolphin sea safari. So magic dolphin, it tells you in the title exactly what we've been doing. We've been out looking for wild dolphins. Absolutely fantastic experience. We were lucky enough to spot not only the common dolphin, which actually you only find in this area throughout the winter, the spring and the autumn, because they like the temperature in the sea being around 19 degrees. If it goes any higher than that, they seek cooler oceans, generally around the British Isles. So we saw a whole group of common dolphins around our boat, which was fantastic. Small dolphins, beautiful. And then we saw a whole horde of bottlenose dolphins, which are around the island all year round. And generally we were told that they find around 100 bottlenose dolphins around, and we saw around 100 today. So it was a phenomenal experience. What was really interesting though during the trip is the dolphins would go under, then they would flip up, and part way through, what they were actually doing is whacking their tails on the tip of the water, which was creating a splash. So the tour guide explained why the dolphins do this. Obviously we know that dolphins, when they go underwater, communicate with each other via sound. They communicate to not only their own species but other species, and they can tell, they can identify distance of prey and things like that. But actually what they recognise very quickly is that they can't communicate with us humans or with boats or with birds like that, anything that's above the water, so they have to find a different method of communication. So what they've very quickly realised is that by simply splashing their tail on the top of the water, that's enough to gain attention from those other items or other beings that would be above the water. So for example, us in our boat. So what the dolphins have quickly done is they've very quickly understood how to communicate with other people, with other beings, with other species that aren't able to access the frequencies under the water, and they've done that very quickly and adaptable. So the moment they saw the boat, they were flapping their tail on the water very quickly, so they'd adapted their communication quickly. So you're probably wondering why I'm going into so much detail about dolphins, but it's a really simple point really. If you think about how we communicate daily when we're meeting other hearing people, we go straight into a verbal conversation without even thinking. That's our norm. That's the equivalent of the dolphins being under the water, communication via sound. That's their norm. But the moment the dolphins go up over the water and they see something else to communicate with, they divert and they change and they adapt very quickly. Now it's the same for us when we meet a deaf person. Our indicators, as are the dolphins' indicators, are the boat or the seagulls or the other things they're communicating with. Our indicator is something like a hearing aid or someone using sign language. So we need to adapt to that same distinction, to that same understanding of seeing someone who has hearing aids and thinking to ourselves, just like the dolphins do, how can we communicate visually? How can we communicate in a way that's not going to be in a way that's not going to be accessible? We're not going to be using a different level of communication. We're going to match the communication, being more visual, using more gestures, making sure you're getting someone's attention simply before you talk to them. So just a little bit of a lesson from a species of dolphins that we've been lucky enough to experience today. And that's it from me, and I will see you next time.
Right side, right side. Okay. Yeah? Wow. I understand.